The first day of the rest of my life. Stand behind the mic like Walter Cronkite. Y'all keep the spotlight. I'm keeping my rhymes tight. Lose sight of what you believe and call it a night. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the season 2 premiere of the Life of Logan podcast, episode 101. Yes, we are back and we're better than ever. And you are invited to a celebration of life, a celebration of me. Today, May 18th, happens to be my birthday. Happy National Low Day. I know, and if your job doesn't recognize it, then, you probably need to find a better job. But I digress. Today is my birthday, and I appreciate all of you who have already given me birthday wishes, and I appreciate the birthday wishes in the future. And as you can probably see, we're doing things a little bit different with the podcast. Now, if you're listening on Spotify, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, CastBox, Spreaker, wherever, any of those lovely DSPs, I gotta tell you, you're missing out on the visual reproduction of this here podcast. Because if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, Life of Logan TV, you can tune in and you can actually see my beautiful face, my skin, my eyes. I'm looking at you right in the eyes. You can see me smiling, and then you see just the beard is in full effect. So make sure you tune in to Life of Logan TV if you want to see the visual production of this podcast, or if you're okay with the audio version too, that's fine. I appreciate any of the support that you all give me. But let's go on ahead and get down to business. Today is my birthday, and I'm thinking about, I'm going to probably title this episode, "It's a Celebration that Everyone Should Invite Me." Because I am the life of the party. And I'm the life of the party because I'm still living. I'm still living. And there were times, especially in my younger years, where I didn't picture myself being 39 years old. I didn't picture myself really aging past 25. And that's why when I was younger, I put myself into very precarious situations that my outcome of living probably wasn't as high or whatever, but through the grace of God and just ancestors watching over me and keeping me from flaming out and just being stupid and getting my own wish, the wish that I had, I was kept safe and I continue to grow. And one thing I will say is that now that I've made it to this, my big age, my grand age, or whatever as my son would say, now that I've made it here, I owe it to not only myself, but I owe it to the people who love me to be the best version of me, to be the best version of myself. And with me being the best version of myself, that calls into changes that I must make in my life. And changes I must make into my life are sowing into myself, because I am very fertile ground, loving myself in a reckless manner, loving myself without fear, loving myself out loud and proud, and loving all aspects of me, because we go through life and it's not really other people. We're a lot of times shielding ourselves. We're shielding ourselves for this reason or that reason, but we shield ourselves because sometimes we don't want to make other people uncomfortable. Maybe we kind of feel like outcasts because we just know that we're different, but that's what makes us beautiful. And I'm going to dedicate however much time I have left on this earth to making sure that I give you all the best of me. And the light is going to be blinding, but y'all will be okay. Just put on some shades. I can actually send you some links to the shades I'll be wearing, but put on some shades or whatever, because the light is about to be blinding, and Life of Logan is evolving. It's evolving. Evolution is like change. Like, change is definitely a part of life, but you don't have to evolve with the change. Change is going to always happen around you, but you can still choose to stay the same and get left behind. But we don't want to do that anymore. We want to evolve. We want to evolve. You know, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and learn how to roll with the punches. And you evolved, and then you can start throwing some punches back. You can get your better counter defense for all my boxing fans, and you can be better. So with the changing of this podcast, some of the topics that we talk about in future episodes may not be what you're used to, because I don't want to be like one note. Yes, I'm still the mental health guy. I'm still the emotional intelligence guy. I still have my battles with depression, and I'm still going to encourage you. But I have so many great things going on in my life, and I'm doing not only myself, but you, the audience, a disservice by not inviting you into those things. And maybe coming on here, maybe talking a little stuff or whatever, but you know, it's all in the vein of motivation. It's never to talk down on anyone or anything and stuff like that, because I want you to feel as good about yourself as I do about me. And that involves celebrating yourself. With it being my birthday season, and I can come on here and just speak freely, but it hasn't been the best. It has not been the best. It's been rife with disappointment. It's disappointment and hurt, and in some cases feeling lied to. But it's okay. It's okay, because if nothing else, I love myself, and I will celebrate myself. And I'll always celebrate myself. Like, that's not going to change. I'm going to love myself, and I'm going to celebrate myself. And hopefully through me loving myself, seeing me love myself, seeing me celebrate myself, you learn how to do that for yourself. And then for the people who are in my life, that they learn like, hey, this is the standard, that, you know, this is the standard. So I have to come in and I have to match that standard. It's an honor. It's an honor for me to still be here. It's an honor for me to still be able to make videos and make podcasts, and to be able to still kind of like have my head on right, because it's just, I've been through the ringer. I've been through the ringer, especially this year, but seasons change. And with this new season changing, even though I'm coming out of my season, and my season may have not been the best for me, but when I come out of this season, and when the season changes, because the season is changing right now, like, I'm rising from the ashes. It's a beacon. It is just letting people know that, hey, you got this. You got this. Not only do you got this, but it's certain that you will win. You might have to wait like a little long. The battle may be long. The battle may be hard, but you will win. And no matter what, during the course of it, you celebrate yourself. You don't wait for other people to celebrate you. We're no longer sitting around and waiting for other people to celebrate us. Life is passing us by because we're waiting for other people, or we're listening to grandiose promises from people that, hey, I'm going to do this, and then, you know, it doesn't happen. But you won't have to worry about that. Like, if you celebrate yourself, if you do what you're supposed to do, because after all, you are the generator of love. You are the front line and the last defense and the last line of defense when it comes to loving yourself. Loving yourself is so important. And then if people see that you're loving yourself and they celebrate yourself, they know they can't just come to you with anything. So I would like to invite you all to love yourself a little more today. Love yourself a little more today, to make sure that you celebrate yourself, pat yourself on the back, you know, even if it's just because you got out of bed this morning, even if it's just because, hey, I didn't have a soda today. I didn't succumb to, you know, my food cravings, or I didn't succumb to my temper. I didn't let people kind of get me off track or whatever. Like, I stood my ground. I said what I had to say, but I didn't let it take over my whole day. Because like my grandmother would say, she would always tell me whenever I was younger, and I would go to her and tell her about how, you know, I was down, I was sad and everything. And she would say, baby, You ain't had a bad day since May 18th, 1984. And I didn't really understand at the time, like, I was born, like, what are you talking about? But I understand now. We have bad times, but we do not have bad days. And it may be a bad time because, like I said, I'm battling with being disappointed, but this ain't a bad day. Like, I'm not going to let the decisions and failings of others ruin my day. Like, literally my day. I'm just not going to let that happen. So this is just different. It's just different because the moments may be bad, but I can't continue to let it just take me or whatever, because life is going to do it. Life is life and all over us. But I owe it to myself to not let, hey, you did this, that's fine, that's what you had to do. But I also need to celebrate myself. Now, if you want to come along and celebrate myself and add to the happiness, because I am happy with it without anyone. But if you want to come along and add to my happiness and kind of like give me a little bit more or whatever, I would greatly appreciate it. But if not, hey, this is just where we end up departing. And that's okay too. No hard feelings, but I must celebrate myself, and I have to be me. I have to be free, and I have to be all sides of me. And I know that may be jarring to some people, but I have to be all sides of me, because every side of all of this is beautiful. It's wonderful. It is divine. It is amazing. It is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all so much for tuning into the season 2 premiere of Life of Logan. Please make sure that if you, no matter where you're listening to it or watching this at, make sure that you share the content. Make sure, if you can, please leave a comment. If it's not episode specific, make sure that you just tell me, how great of a job I'm doing. It motivates the hell out of me, and I appreciate every single one of you who have done that. Make sure that you are liking the content. Make sure that you're subscribed or following wherever you are. And if you can, hit that notification bell as the final dismount to let me know that you really rock with me heavy and the long way. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next Thursday. Again, the podcast now broadcasts every Thursday. So we will talk to you next Thursday, and it's going to be a terrific Thursday. I'll tell you what. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.